Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Revival League Season 2 Open Qualifiers Round 1. My name is Retro, and we have a banging match here today between HOAX Esports and, what is it? Shortest route possible? Shortest possible route. Sorry. Their name is too long, so it can't fit, so it's just SPR, which is what I will be referring to them for the remainder of this game, just because it's quicker and easier. But obviously, I needed to introduce them properly. There's really not much to know about these teams as of yet. They're both very brand new names. Names? What? Teams on the OPL website. So there's very little to know about them. I think if you're a player, you probably know a little bit more just from scrimming against them in the past few weeks. But yeah, as a caster, I have very limited information about them. So this is going to be a completely brand new territory for me. The only thing that I know about these teams is that I have a slight bias against HOAX, just for the fact that on their team they have a player named Retro, and I am Retro, and there can only be one Retro, and that Retro is me. So, yeah, that's my bias against HOAX Esports. And then SBR don't have a fake Retro. Yeah, you can see it right there. Retro. There can only be one, and it's me. In fairness, I am Retro 34. It's just I don't say it because it's longer. So I guess that's the way that we can differentiate each other in the ring. But currently, I'm more in support of SPR just for the fact that they don't have a fake Retro. Even though I'm not supposed to have any biases, but we're gonna ignore that for the time being. Anyway, the bands have come out. We're playing on Chalet. Good old Chalet. It's not good to be back. If you were there during the season 1 finals, you will know that we only played Chalet. It was so much Chalet and Clubhouse. I started feeling cold at that point with how much of that snow I was seeing. So we're back here on dear old Chalet. And SBR are starting the defense on the bar and gaming, site, which has become quite a favorite for a lot of teams, just for the fact that it's a really decent site. And when you have that top floor control, which we do see them setting up right now, it's really, really difficult for attackers to actually attack onto it. Typically, you'll waste at minimum 90 seconds, but usually 2 minutes, if not more, just trying to get control over that top floor, and at that point, you just have to flood site and hope for the best. The bans are pretty interesting. HOAX got rid of the Ying and the Solus, which if you were there in the previous game that we had between Hilux and Eco. Oh my goodness, already a kill. I think, that was a run-out attempt. That was either a spawn peek or a run-out attempt coming up from me. He did get shut down from Cyberstar. Did a little bit of damage onto 3 of these players, so it wasn't all for naught, but he did get shut out, and that's the Jaeger now off the board. So one of those positions that they have set up will not be able to be covered as well without one more player on the board. They're droning out library quite heavily, shooting out a lot of these magnets, which of course will make it that much easier for them to clear out this position inside of the library. Oh, I don't even... Wow. That was really, really well played from the Capitao, because he shot one bolt into the corner to push away Guilty, the Womai, but then he shot another firebolt right above the hatch to burn him when he jumps through the hatch. So that was really, really well thought out from the Capitao. Cyberstar, in the meantime, has fallen away. So that's now their gridlock off the board. Their only flank watch that they have, apart from any drones, potentially, considering that they're not bringing any claymores, of which they could bring 4 potentially. About a minute 20 seconds left on the clock. They have a lot of these angles cut off, but they don't really have all that much control on this map as of yet. But Julia gets a little bit overzealous on that hatch, and it's Korix to get the kill. Now, in a 3 versus 4 with a minute left to go, SBR have to try everything to hold on to this round. Guilty just narrowly avoiding the shots from the DMR of the Dokebi. Still challenging onto that same angle, throwing a few more of these magnets. Retro with the next kill onto Bardozer. There goes a swing from Guilty onto the Dokebi, and that is a really, really good kill now in a 2 versus 3. Those smokes are coming out. The plant is going down. There goes a grenade just to force somebody from that position. Guilty drops the hatch. He tried to go for the knife for the kill onto the planter, but unfortunately it's fixed up to pick him up, and it's all down to Matsu with the SMG-11 in hand all the way from the other end of the map to try and hold on to something. 2 of the attackers have already jumped out the window. One of them is still inside of the map, and he is just gonna have to try and win this round out against 3 of these players. They are all on slightly lower HP, but it doesn't matter. It's Retro that picked up a final kill and to put the round on the board for HOAX. That was just really, really well executed. Despite not having all that much map control, they basically just took it. Losing that early advantage to that run-out attempt, I think definitely hurt them because, of course, they had one less player to go for flank, to hold on to maybe that shield on top of blue. And I find it really, really interesting is that not only did HOAX not go for, trying to breach those office walls, which is typically the way the teams attack this. They go for a sort of north over push from the top floor to try and gain access to the library, which they did do with the Dokebi, but typically what they do is that they will take a hard breacher, either an ace, usually Habana, to break those walls that we see Julia reinforcing right now, and then get rid of the shield that will be placed on top of the blue stairs in a little bit. So that's usually the way the teams attack that, but this time, HOAX just decided we don't need to do that at all. And not only did they decide that they don't need to do that, they didn't bring a hard breach at all. They really only had Maverick, who is a good hard breach, but he wasn't in a position to go for that breach in the first place. Now, I don't know if that was a misplay maybe from them, like a mispick, because they have picked onto the ace this time, or if they just were confident enough to know that they didn't need to do that they could win their gunfights head on, which they did do, and it worked out for them. They are going for a bit of a different push. This time they are getting control of Fireplace first, just opening up that main door and holding up any peeks from there, any runouts, anything. Guilty waiting a little bit until he shoots that Yanako, and of course confident that is an Yanako, and as if it wasn't, he would already be dead at that point. Again, throwing these magnets in positions where they could be shot at. And more of that fire. This time, it is catching him, and there goes the grenade as well. Oh, that was really, really well executed from HOAX. That firebolt, and then the grenade to follow it up, and there was no way for Guilty to escape that. The last time they got him with 2 firebolts to at least push him out of that position. That's a very, very strong position to be holding onto. But there was just nothing that Guilty could do. And now with that position being vacated, that pretty much gives them library control, because now Julio is being contested from multiple angles, as will Meat be getting from both that window and from the piano double door. And now they will be challenging him from the single window as well, wasting the final flashbang from the buff, trying to do something. There goes the kill. Julia swinging onto the Dokebi. Cyberstar and Pixel both pick up a piece, and now it's a 2 versus 4 for SBR to try and hold on to this. Korix eliminates Matsu, and it's all down to Bardozer. The smoke still inside of sight. Throws down 1 canister. There goes the Diana clone that will spot him out. I think there will be some vertical angles onto him as well, so this could be the round over right here, right now. He has 4 attackers to deal with. Last time around, it was Matsu in pretty much the exact same situation, except I think it was a 1v3 actually. He was not able to hold on to that. It's going to be even tougher for Bardozer. He will have to try and use those smoke canisters to try and deny the plant, which of course, with the entire site being vacated, it's going to be a lot harder to try and, deny every position where they could possibly plant. And they are just taking their time, droning out, making sure that the site is completely empty, and that they are able to go for the plant. The plant will be going down. Guards are just waiting, hoping that they are just going to get stupid and not plant. Gets the first kill onto Cyber, who was not aware of his positioning, but now the rest of these attackers will be aware of his position. Those Kiva Beers working against him as he cannot see that he is being peeked onto from this library angle by HOAX, and that's another round on the board for HOAX. Again, just really, really well executed. There's really not much you could say about that. That was just really well executed. The only thing that I'm thinking is that maybe those my magnets inside of library could have been placed a little bit better to maybe catch those firebolts or those grenades. Obviously, putting them down where he did, I think that grenade might have even been caught by the magnet that was on the trophy case. So it did him worse than if it had just been on the window. And of course, being on the window is a risk because it can be shot up from the opposite window. But I think those beams inside of library do help you a little bit when you're in that position to, be able to stack them up there and try to deny that utility being wasted on you, or try to waste that utility on you rather than have it kill you. But anyway, they are choosing to go for a different site this time. They lost it twice. Both times came down to 1BX. They don't want to be in that position again, so they're going downstairs. Now, this is a site that is, for the most part, not all that favored by a lot of teams. They do not like this site. It's just one of the sites that in this game just got overplayed. And then they just decided, hey, there's too many strats to deny this, and both ways of attacking, there's too many angles for you to hold, so we're just not going to go there. Because if they have the crosses, then we get decimated. But they are confident that they can win this round, and they are bringing that Mira, which will definitely be really, really good for them. Baiting some of this utility with those smoke grenades inside of the breach while they rotate away, and of course distracting Guilty, and I think the Mira of Bardoza as well, or actually that's Julia on the Mira window, distracting them and forcing them to hold on to that and keep peeking that. It's Matsu all the way up inside of library, getting challenged onto by multiple angles, and there goes a brilliant, beautiful cross. There was one person in library, there was one person on the single mezzanine window, and there was another person inside of piano. A beautiful three-way cross to get rid of Matsu. That's the my gone. Any of those magnets that were left in pocket or undeployed are now lost. The next one to maybe fall could be Meep, as he's being challenged onto with that vertical play, as well as those drones and multiple people peeking him at the same time. We'll have to drop away from kitchen, not using the hatch, but instead rotating down the stairs, which might have even been, or definitely was a lot more dangerous, but he managed to get away with his life. The roamers have wasted quite a bit of time. One of them did lose his life, but they still have wasted quite a bit of time. But now with that hatch being open, this could give the attackers another point of entry, but also another point where they can hold on to the defense. Guilty pushing up the fireplace stairs, sees the Eon all the way inside the kitchen through that Mira window, but is unable to pick up the kill. Unfortunately, oh, that was actually really, really smart. So they used the Thatcher EMP to not only clear the New Jammer that might have been on the wall, but also to clear any ADSs that could have caught those grenades. There go the kills. They are just absolutely crumbling. 2 versus 5 yet again for the side of SPR. Both of those breaches will be open. Bardoza with a nice angle all the way from pillar does get one. There's the Go Cam spotting out the thermite all the way down at the bottom of the fireplace. There goes the kill. Meep tries to swing, but unfortunately cannot get that kill. The plant is going down all down to Bardoza. They can probably see him or hear him behind that mirror window. Tries to go for a C4, but it breaks there with the kill instead. And another round on the board for HOAX. I mean, they've just been absolutely decimating them. This is a really great example of a really, really good team. I can't say that SBR are really doing anything wrong. It's just that they are losing. And there's not much that they can do about that because of how beautifully HOAX are winning this, or how beautifully they are playing this. They had, you could see it there for the Womai kill. They had a three-way cross, and they pretty much had a three-way cross for the entire remainder of the round. And I mentioned that they used an EMP grenade to clear the potential mute jammer off the wall, but also to deactivate any ADSs that have been placed on that door so that the grenade can come through and be tossed in without a problem. That is really, really clever thinking. And now they're forcing SPR to go to a site that they've never played before. They're going all the way up to top floor, just trying everything until something sticks. And that is a really, really horrible position for you to be in, especially when you are on a slightly defensive map. I think last season, this was quite a defensive site by a small margin, but it was defensive sided. So to be on defense and to be losing 3-0 on all of your side picks so far, is really, it's worrisome. Chorus on the Amaru. I thought that might have been they might have been setting up for a push into the master bedroom with the Amaru, but instead it's just to get onto the roof quicker and to gain control over those piano windows, or those west side windows. Again, quite a lot of roaming. Guilty in an engagement here against the Dokebi. And he actually won this out. He drops away, as does the Dokebi, so as to not lose their life. Still baiting the Dokebi a little bit. He doesn't he doesn't drop away far, and he does have the Ella of Meep nearby, as well as Julia on the top floor as well, to help with this roam. This will be Corix now droning himself in. I think he might be going into the Solarium windows, which could really be an issue for SPR if they're not ready for it, and I don't think that they are. They do hear him, however, or I at least hope that Bardozer heard him. He saw him, however. There go the kill, and Julia picks up another one on the bricks. This is finally a good round for SPR here, but in a 3 versus 5, I wouldn't count HOAX just yet. However, this might have been the game-changing moment here for them, as Meep picks up Corix, picks up Pixel, and now this is all down to Cyber and Retro. Now, they have the grenades, they have the thermite, there's no wall denial, so they could get that breach opened up. They get the kill onto the ward, and there goes another. What are they doing? SPR getting a little bit too aggressive, and now that very, very good advantage that they had is slowly dwindling down. They still have the smoke, all 3 canisters in pocket. They know exactly where Julio is, and there goes a grenade that picks him up. Cyber with the 3K through the wall. He gets another. It's a quad. He only needs one more to ace, and it's all down to Bardozer to try and pick up both of these players to try and win this round. He's got a minute left to go. They can open up this wall without a problem, and this really could be trouble for SPR. A really strong lead that they had in this round, they completely threw it away, and now with 45 seconds left to go is more than enough time to get that wall open, to get that plant down, and maybe for Cyber to even get the ace. That was an Ella concussion mine that went off and gave away Cyber. A small canister will be getting deployed onto the door, doing a little bit of damage onto Cyber. Retro hears him, and Retro picks up the final kill. There will be no ace for Cyber, but what happened? SPR threw it away. I mean, if I've ever seen a throw, that was one. They didn't need to be aggressive. It was a 5 versus 2. And instead, both the Warden and the Womai got a little bit too aggressive. That nade was just very unfortunate, but also Julio didn't need to be there. Once those 2 players had died, immediately run away. I guess he couldn't have really done that because he was getting challenged onto from the window and from library, but he could have dropped down into fireplace and rotated all the way up Solarium stairs. That could have been done. The person dying through the wall shouldn't have been peeking onto that not unsafe angle anyway. That was just a really, really unfortunate round, and the first time that they had any semblance of an advantage, they threw it away. They got cocky, and it came back around to bite them. I mean, this entire time, HOAX has just been doing so much and playing so actively. There had never been a dull moment in any of these rounds so far. I hadn't even had time to discuss the bans, of these two teams. The bans have just been sitting up there. I hadn't even had time to discuss them or to even mention them. And I thought, oh, they've banned out the Ying. You know, that's going to deny any type of rushing. You know, a lot of, what a lot of teams like to do is take that Amaru, go in through the master bedroom window, and then just send in Candelas to really, you know, confuse the defenders and to get easy picks with the Amaru, but they don't even need it because they're playing such beautiful Siege so far. You know, the Flores ban, it didn't bother them at all because they are just able to clear out all of that utility and the players with the grenades. It's like they've not been affected by these bans at all. And in fact, there goes kill, finally. SBR getting Cyberstar very quickly on. That's the sludge gone. That's 2 of their nades gone. Much, much better positioning there from SBR to get that opening kill, onto Sledge. And of course, it's Cyber who had gotten a 4K in the previous round. Julio peeking onto the window a little bit too much. And there goes Amaru all the way inside of Mezzanine to get the kill onto Julio. Immediately refragged. And now, peeking onto the wall does about 50 HP damage to Neep. And 2 players challenging onto the piano window. Why? What is the reason? Briggs getting the kill onto Guilty. I'm not sure where Guilty was. He might have been trying to flank up from below. But they are just falling apart. Again, they're playing way too... Yeah, he was trying to flank up from below. Or maybe trying to just run away. I'm not sure. And again, Bartos are just getting too aggressive on this wall. There goes Bricks with another kill. And again, in a 2 versus 4, there goes Matsu getting aggressive on the wall when he doesn't need to. And Meep is on 50 HP from previously when he got a little bit too overzealous. So this is just... I mean, I don't really even know what's going on anymore. I mean... Yes, HOAX are playing beautiful Siege, but also SPR, I don't know what they are doing. It's such a confusing time. There goes Matsu with the kill. There goes Meep with another one. Unfortunately, it's Pixel to pick up one more, and it's Pixel to pick up the final one as well. HOAX put themselves up 5-0. Oh my goodness. If SPR want to win a round, they need to do it now. Because if they lose one more round, HOAX are on match point, and there's nothing that SPR can do on their attacking side. I really hope that this is just a really bad case of Chalet being super defender-sided to where no one wins an attack round, or no one wins a defense round. I meant, whatever I said, the opposite. Because... otherwise, I really worry for SPR. I mean, they've just been getting absolutely decimated. And again, yeah, HOAX are playing really beautiful Siege with 3-way crosses and getting in for those trades. I mean, getting the kill onto Julio with that Amaru in through the window was beautiful, was brilliant. But at the same time, 4 people peeked the exact same angle for SPR and lost because of it. That's just not something that I can even credit to HOAX, because they didn't do anything to achieve that. They just got it. I mean, wow. Anyway, they're going back downstairs. They were not able to win this last time that they played this. The only set that they've not gone to so far is Kitchen. They're going back downstairs. And hopefully this time it ends up being a little bit better. The last time, they lost their roamers pretty early on. And with that beautiful 3-way cross all the way upstairs to get rid of Guilty, hopefully this time they will be a little bit more fortunate. It's Smoke that is roaming, which is unusual. Actually, scratch that. Everyone is roaming, which is also unusual. Julio gets downed by trying to peek the drone hole in a prone angle. Guilty also getting challenged onto. There goes Meep to get the res. But they will be getting down as well! Oh no, that is so unfortunate. Retro just holding on to this. drone hole, because what else is he supposed to do? Finally, Matsu gets the kill onto the Thermite, who was peeking their drone hole, but they've already lost 2 players, and Briggs is on the stairs. He gets 2, he gets 3. What is happening? It's all down to Bardozer, who last time we saw him was also roaming. He's just going straight back upstairs, vacating the site completely. The drones will be coming in to spot out the fact that the remaining defender is not on site. All 3 smoke babes still in pocket. 1 versus 4, time and time again, SPR find themselves in this position. Don't count Bardozer out just yet. He could just clutch this, but it's going to be one of the toughest clutches I've ever seen. And they have so many of these angles and so many of these crosses already covered up. And there's not much that he could do. They're going down those west main stairs. There's a player inside the kitchen. He does get that one. Very, very patient in the holding onto that. I think a lot of players by this point would have rotated all the way back down. Does a little bit of damage, or takes a little bit of damage rather from, I think that was Briggs. As the plant goes down, there goes the grenade onto the stairs, not cooked at all. Luckily, does let him escape, but now 2 players all the way inside a trench, 1 player inside a connector, and there goes Briggs with the kill from connector, putting HOAX on the match point, and we haven't even seen the side switch. I mean, what is going on? That was really, really poor form there from SPR. Sitting, looking at that drone hole for the entire round, and then losing 2 people to the drone hole, and then having the Iana come downstairs right next to you and get 2 more. I mean, at that point, that's just depressing. That is a throw. That I really try to not say that a team is throwing, because sometimes they just really are struggling, and it's like, oh, they're losing their ones, and the other team are just playing better Siege. But this is straight up a throw. They had a 5-2 lead a couple rounds ago, and they all just got too aggressive. And then the round after that, 4 people peeked the exact same angle, and all of them died to it. And then now, they lost 2 people to a prone drone hole. I can only classify that as a throw. And I really hate saying that, because I feel like it's such a disrespectful thing to say about a team. But I don't know what else to describe that as, because they're not just happening to lose. They are throwing themselves into the crosshairs of HOAX, and HOAX are just taking everything that they are given, which, unfortunately enough, is everything. And now, they're having to attack onto the kitchen site defense first and foremost for HOAX. HOAX getting very, very aggressive. There we go. Matsu jumping into mud, getting the kill onto Briggs. Very, very nice opening kill, and that is exactly what we like to see. There goes that cross. We saw it from HOAX time and time again, and now SPR are finally doing the same thing, where they had 2 people looking at 2 different angles at the same person, and they get the kill. Guilty now inside of a bar already. They are droning out everything, making sure that there are no more defenders remaining downstairs. And I think the Kebi will probably be rotating downstairs to try and hack those cams as well. Getting challenged onto from the bathroom window? Oh, for his own teammate. Yeah, I wanted to say, yeah, Happy, the producer, says that it's his own teammate that was challenging him, which didn't really make any sense to me, so I didn't want to say that, because why are you shooting there? But anyway, Julio does pick up the kill onto Corix, now getting challenged onto by Cyberstar, the alibi, as well. Really, really good pacing so far from SPR to get that wall opened up and to gain this advantage. Again, this really could be just a situation where the defense is just that weak. Pixel gets a kill onto Guilty. There goes the refrag onto Cyberstar, at least the refrag down. Smoke canister going on inside of the bathroom. Pixel does pick up a Bardozer, however. Pixel all the way downstairs, and that's the diffuser as well, now in no man's land, all the way at the bottom of those stairs. Pixel will be rotating up. Oh, I totally forgot that this is what the site was. I thought, oh, that's really good pacing. But in fairness, they did open up the lower walls as well. Retro gets the kill onto, I think that was Julio. And now it's all down to Meep and Matsu to try and hold on to this round. Matsu does get the kill onto Cyber. They will be picking up this diffuser. That was the player upstairs. Both of the remaining defenders are now downstairs. One's playing inside of Trophy, the other one is playing inside of Kitchen. And now, with limited information from these remaining two players, still quite a bit of utility. They still have 3 flashes. They have 1 lifeline impact and 1 lifeline stun. Oh, Meep just barely surviving to get inside a Kitchen. Matsu shooting so many bullets, but not able to get the kill. And there he goes, gets 1, gets 2. HOAX Esports win this 7-0 somehow. I mean, it's just really, really unfortunate. I don't even know who I'm supposed to name as the MVP of this game, to be completely honest, because so many people won so many different gunfights. I guess if I had to give it to anybody, I guess I would have to give it to Cyber, even though look at those kill counts. Those kill counts are so low. But I guess it's because we've only had 7 rounds. But yeah, I think I would have to give it to Cyber just because he was the one that pioneered that comeback, that 2 versus 5 comeback, nearly got the ace. Because it was sort of the entire team is the MVP, but then it's also the fact that SPR were just giving themselves away so much, or giving themselves up so much. Wow, that was just such a really interesting game. I don't think I've ever casted a game like that. I've casted games where teams have lost 7-0, but a lot of the times it was what I mentioned that this was not, where it's like, oh, they're losing their gunfights, or they're, the other team are just rushing them and they aren't prepared for this. But they weren't rushing. They were just playing very calm and collected. They had the crosses set up. They were there for the refrags. And the most important thing is that SPR were throwing themselves at them. Now, again, this is a very brand new team. Both of these, which is actually so much more impressive than how were HOAX a brand new team, and they were that good at being, so together. Typically that type of synergy from a team, you don't see that until they've played at least a whole season together. So I think that this might be the case of a team of friends or people who've just been playing, on and off together in different teams, and then finally came together to form HOAX. And then that's why, because if you look at the OPL website, HOAX is a brand new team, only formed like a week ago or something. I think that's the only way that makes sense, because otherwise, I mean, they are just a very, very, or maybe, they are just, destined to be together as a team because of just how much synergy there was there. And again, on the other hand, because SPR are also a very brand new team, it could just be, they just met. They don't have any strats in pocket. Their communication is lacking. And that's where they lost it. But a lot of that didn't seem to be due to communication. The round that keeps replaying over and over in my head is that round where is those 2 rounds on the bedroom defense, where in the first round they had a 5-2 lead that they quite literally threw away. And then in the round after that, 4 people peeked the same angle, died to it. That's such a really unfortunate turn of events, and I cannot believe that I'm praising a team with a fake retro this much, but I mean, they just played beautiful Siege, and there's not much more that I could say about that. It was really well done. But yeah, I guess I would have to call Cyber the MVP, just because he almost had an ace, even though I feel like that entire team deserves a sort of collective MVP just because of how beautiful the Siege they played. I can't stress that enough. That 3-way cross angle and the cross angles that they held the entire time were really, really good, and that push down the Solarium stairs when 2 people were downed on the drone hole was also beautiful. I mean, just really beautiful Siege. It's really not something that you see from T3 or T4 teams all that often. That was a really nice watch. But anyway, I've been rambling on about these 2 teams now for quite a while. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow at some point. Keep the notifications on for this Twitch channel. Join the Discord so you can see when we go live. I've been Retro. Have a good night.